Hello, students. Welcome. It's me, Mr. Campbell, again with our third day of Unit 3. Just to give you guys a heads up, I did post about the final assignment turn-ins to help us maximize our grades for the quarter. The quarter's over, but I've extended a little bit of the turn-in stuff. That way you guys can maximize your quarter one grade. So please complete those quizzes. Please complete those assignments. Get that stuff situated as we go along. And one adjustment I am going to make for us moving forward for the rest of the year is I'm now going to actually have these lessons done live on Zoom 2 days a week. So again, 3 of those days, 2 to 3 of those days a week are going to be the YouTube videos, and then 2 of those days will be the live Zoom sessions, which will also be recorded for YouTube. So we'll have our regular attendance 3 days a week. But we will be needing to do Zoom attendance moving forward. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, guys. Moving forward for 2 days a week. So I'm thinking I'll make that like Tuesday and Thursdays. So be on the lookout. Be ready for that. Okay, guys. Looking here, though, we've got, again, no other updates. You got the vocab list. That's going to be due. Again, I posted that as a post and an assignment on Canvas. Again, that's going to be due this Friday, so please submit those to kind of get our quarter 2 grades going. And then we look here, we've got our Go Blue guys. Number 1, what is the difference between mechanical and chemical weathering? Provide an example of each. So that should be on page 3, right, what we answered yesterday. And then you guys need to go ahead and complete this on page 4 or 4B if you need more room. 2, what 3 factors impact the rate of weathering? That was the list we provided at the very end there, right, at the very end of yesterday's lesson. And something that's maybe a little bit new is what is topography? Again, what is topography? Let's check that out, see what that's about. Pause the video, see what you guys think. Okay, and we'll continue. Let's go over and walk through this again. You need to have these for your notebook quizzes, guys. I think we'll have a small quiz coming up maybe this week. We'll just see about it. Maybe a regular lesson, maybe a small quiz. Okay, for mechanical, again, we're going to be breaking down materials into smaller pieces. Okay, so just the breaking down of materials into smaller pieces, guys. And we're not changing the material, we're just breaking it. Okay, and examples of that include what we talked about the past few days. Frost wedging, right? When water gets into a crevice of some kind, and what does water do when it expands? It's going, when it freezes, I just gave it away. It's going to expand. Water's going to expand as it freezes, right? Okay. And then we've got tree roots, okay? Again, the roots are strong enough to break through soil very slowly, but they will break through rock eventually as well. So tree roots are another one. Second, next part is chemical. Well, how is chemical weathering different, okay? Chemical is we're just going to be changing it chemically. We're going to be breaking it down chemically, right? So I have dissolving, burning, and melting. Okay, so if I'm dissolving something, burning or melting it of some kind, right? If I'm changing the actual physical material without breaking it, its composition, it's going to be, again, chemical weathering, chemical weathering. For our examples include also acid rain and rust. So anytime, again, acid rain is going to break down things chemically, but also rust, we have the chemical composition of metal changing to a different form. Again, those are your 2 good examples of weathering. Of chemical weathering. Let's go ahead and check out the different ways that the factors that impact the rates of weathering. And all you had to do is list them out from yesterday, guys. We had the details yesterday, but we're just going to list them out. Those are going to be rock type / composition, surface area, and topography. Again, rock type / composition, surface area, and topography. Okay, so make sure to have those down as well. Have those down as well. Okay, so rock type / composition, surface area, and topography. Okay, again, rock type, what the rock's made of. Okay, so no rock is going to change the exact same way and the exact same rate because they have different makeups. Okay, surface area, the more surface area rock takes up, the more it will break down. And then topography, guys, that is the, I'll find out what that is in a second, but again, that's the other one. What is topography, guys? Again, the steeper a slope is, the greater it will break down. But just know for number 3, topography is just the surface features of the earth. Is the area flat? Is it mountainous? Are there a lot of rivers? Is it dry? Is there canyons, mountains, et cetera, guys? So for Florida, what would we say the topography is for our state? Well, it's the flattest state in the United States, guys. It's the flattest state in the United States. Let's go to move on, guys. Table of contents is the same. Today, we are going to begin our different types of erosion. We've got glacial erosion, gravity erosion, wind erosion. Okay, today we're going to talk about glacial erosion. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our first. Let me just try to show a question here. And usually when I show questions, it's I'm going to try and do this with my phone here. So I'm going to get the question linked up to the website. That way you guys can see it from this format instead. Okay, so why not I'll just show this one. It's kind of going back, a little throwback to our rock types a little bit, right? Going here, guys. Oh, hopefully the screen lets me play it. All right, so here is our question. Let's see if, oh, here we go. Okay, so our first question of the day, guys, first question. Okay, which type of rock forms from heat and pressure? Which type of rock forms from heat and pressure? Is it A, granite, B, sedimentary, C, igneous, or D, metamorphic? See what you guys have, Okay, take a pause of the video, take a guess. And the answer, guys, is going to be D, metamorphic, guys. D, metamorphic. Again, we got to know the rock types, and we've got to know how they are created. Again, got to know the rock types and got to know how they are created, Okay, let's go ahead and continue then to our first video question of the day. Okay. I want you guys to write this down on page 4. All about glaciers. What exactly is a glacier, and how do they shape landscapes? For our first video of the day. Again, what exactly is a glacier? And how do they shape landscapes? Okay, so copy and answer that to page 4. You're going to answer by watching the video. Again, I want you guys to watch the whole video on your own. We'll just watch some of it because of YouTube copyright stuff, right? Don't want them get mad at me for playing the whole video in my video. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out. Again, copy what's in red to page 4. No, it's showing some of the answers, guys. I got to figure out a way to get that taken away. I don't want you guys to see those answers.
How do glaciers shape the landscape?
And just so you guys know, she says glaciers because the video's, I believe, from New Zealand or Europe or something. It's a little accent change. Again, glaciers aren't just pieces of ice. They're not just a big piece of ice. We're not talking about icebergs here, right? We're talking about something different. Let's check it out. What is it?
Glaciers are frozen rivers of ice which have immense power. Glaciers are so powerful, they can carve huge chunks out of mountains as they flow downhill. This makes them one of the most powerful natural tools on our planet. Glaciers are sometimes called nature's bulldozer. Just like a bulldozer, glaciers shape the land in 3 ways. Firstly, glaciers pick up material.
So you heard it here earlier, just in this small sample. Again, I want you to watch all the video on your own, guys. But they are moving rivers of ice, not an iceberg. Moving rivers of ice, guys, and slowly moving. It's not actually moving that fast, guys. This happens over a long period of time, but slowly moving rivers of ice. Okay. And how do they impact the? You kind of see that.
Call this erosion,
right?
Water flowing along.
You can see here again, guys, slowly moving rivers of ice. And what are they going to do? They're going to scrape or scoop at the valley or the ground beneath them. Okay, so scrape away. They kind of tunnel through and dig away through mountains. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you that off the bat, right? Might as well give it to you. So a slowly moving river of ice. Again, this is not just a big piece of ice. It's a river flowing down the side of a mountain or a slope. And it's going to be scraping the rock valley / floor. So right there, right what's already there, guys, in black right there, right, in the on page 4. Again, slowly moving river ice. They're going to scoop away at the land beneath, kind of causing an opening, which you'll see kind of here at the top here. We call that a U-shaped valley. Okay. Now, before we continue, guys, go ahead. I'm gonna expand this. Okay. I want you guys now to go to page 5. Okay. So go to page 5, and I want you to set up what you see here. Another category sheet, guys. Another category sheet. Okay. The bell's gonna ring here in a little bit, but that's fine. It's just for lunch. It's not for my class. And the title of this is going to be Types of Erosion. Types of erosion. Different types of erosion. You have 3 types, so make 3 different rows. 3 different rows here. 3 rows. Your first row is going to be glacial, G-L-A-C-I-A-L, glacial erosion. I have a little piece of ice there with water. Your second category is going to be gravity erosion. I have a little apple falling off a tree. And your third category is going to be wind erosion, wind erosion. Okay, wind erosion. Okay. And our stuff includes here details and examples, details and examples. So you're going to have the details and examples of each one. 3 categories: glacial / glacier, gravity, and wind, Okay. So let's only do the first one, which is glacial. So do the first one. This is on page 5, page 5. Okay, let's continue on and get the screen a little minimized here. We'll have a little question later if the screen lets me get ahead to it. Oh, no. One moment. All right, so first and foremost, details I want you to know. Again, just write what's in red here for the first category. Do not write what's crossed off because we already did that. Glaciers are known as what? They're known as nature's bulldozers. They're going to dig away and grind away at the dirt and the rock and the valley beneath them. That ice is again, it's tough, it's strong, it's melting and it's moving. It's going to be bulldozing away at the ground beneath it. And when it does that, it creates tunnels through the rock. Okay? They're so strong and large. In fact, guys, these things can get the size of small mountains, these glaciers, okay? Moving rivers of ice. It's going to carry rocks that are the size of school buses, okay? And eventually, and again, this is very slow. It happens over a long period of time, and it moves it to the ocean, okay? Yeah, so, and these created many landscapes after the Ice Age. So for this, guys, again, leave a little room because we still need examples here. These are the details. We still have 2 examples I want to show you guys, okay? And if you guys are ever, you know, up in the North or South Pole, again, if you want to see a glacier, I've got a video here of a little glacial tsunami. Okay. There's the belt of a glacial, and sorry about that, guys. Again, advertisements I can't control. It only lets me skip it when it says I can. But I do encourage everybody to vote when you guys are 18. Make sure you always vote every election. It's very important. But let's look here. I have a glacier. Okay. And you're going to see, I'm going to go to the middle of the video. Again, this whole thing's a river of ice. That's how massive and tall it gets. But if we look here, guys, you can see, okay, we can see the melting of the ice, and enough of it melts to the point that you get massive waves. Now, if you're on a coastline, you're safe. But if you're in a boat, you gotta be careful. And we can clearly see these waves are crashing on down, approaching this boat. Let's watch and see what happens. Uh-oh, indeed, right? So a little anxious that I'm not getting on that.
That'll be all right.
Does it get tipped over? No, it's still there. Here's the second wave. It's a little bit taller. And pretty scary. But they're both.
All right, that was great.
Really cool to see the force of nature. I can only imagine what it was like to see that in person. But again, guys, just got to be careful if you're in your boat. If you are in a boat. Okay. So let's continue. Let's finish up here with our 2 examples. Okay. So our next, again, just write what's in red, guys. 2 examples. In the first category, U-shaped valleys, guys. U-shaped valleys, again, form when the glacier moves down a slope. We can see here, again, the glacier is going to burrow away at this rock here. Okay, going to burrow away at it. And it's going to create these valleys, guys. These valleys, essentially, in a lot of areas. And a lot of these exist today because of the ice that existed from the Ice Age. So our first one is U-shaped valleys. And we got to know what erosion causes these structures. I may ask you on a quiz, what erosion do we get with U-shaped valleys? You got to know it's glacial or glacier, okay? And our last example of today, guys, is going to be glacial lakes. Areas carved out by glacier, then filled with water. So sometimes it builds tunnels. Sometimes the glaciers will dig little holes in the ground, and that, when it rains, will leave behind these beautiful, gorgeous lakes filling with water. Again, precipitation is rain. These lakes are some of the purest, bluest, most beautiful lakes you guys will ever see. Again, very crystal clear water, kind of like basically a lake, somewhat of like Aquafina, right? Or of Evian water, very clear water, mountain water, right? So also very cold water, to say the least, very cold as well. To end the day, guys, we'll do a little, again, that concludes glacial erosion, guys. That is the end of glacial erosion. I have a clip here of, again, avalanche safety I'd like you guys to check out on Canvas as well.
We'll have the $5.99 steak special.
What if everyone gave you the value that the General does?
It's a sunny spring day near West Yellowstone.
And I want you guys to watch this on your
Trennis
own.
Bear and his fellow snowmobilers take
you
turns
guys
charging
have
up
ever
a
fought in an
1,000-foot
avalanche,
vertical climb.
like this here, turns around.
Now,
And
hop on for Trennis's wild ride. What you do next, masses of snow are one of the most dangerous forces in nature. When wind-blown...
So again, this is not going to feel like fluffy snow when it comes your way. It's going to feel like a truck coming in at 200 miles per hour. Could break some bones. You could get stuck in the snow. What are we going to do? How do we, if we're on the snowmobile, how do we avoid this, right? So the questions ask us, okay, are you going to rev the engine up and try to outrun the avalanche? Are you going to try to bail and get off the snowmobile and get under the avalanche, or are you going to try to go to the side? So please watch. Again, just so you guys, I want you to watch all of it, but just so you guys know, you got to turn to the side, just so you guys know. That'll be the safest way. You can't outrun an avalanche. It's going to go too fast. It's going to outrun the snowmobile. Bailing off is bad. Then you automatically get trapped in the snow. Okay, let's end the day on a question. Okay, let's see here. Last question of the day, guys. This is going to be from what we did on page 3. Okay, and actually, we'll go ahead. We'll save it. We'll save it for now because I think the lesson's kind of long today. So let's go ahead, guys. That concludes our lesson for today. Again, the vocab is due Friday. Get any missing work turned in for quarter 1. Message me if you have questions. Grades will be final this weekend. Mr. Campbell signing out. Be ready for Zoom lessons next week. Have a great day.